across the country and now help families with their swine projects by giving selection and community advice throughout the year to complete at the county, state, and national level. Please give a warm welcome to her.
Good morning, Greene County, and thank you for having me out here today to support for your swine show. We're talking with senior showmanship. We're only going to pick one out of this division, and it's close between a trio of them for me. With that being said, there's one individual that gave a few more angles and was always presently in front of me more often than not. That's a young man driving directly at me with the belt field right here.
Champion senior showman goes to Gavin Sherman. Next into the ring will be intermediate showmanship.
Reminder, Grand and Reserve, please go to back of arena after your class for pictures. In the arena, we have intermediate showmanship. On deck will be junior showmanship.
As we move into the intermediates, we're going to keep moving through these things as efficiently as possible. It looks like it's going to get hot this afternoon. All these pigs have to show again. With that being said, I think there's one individual out of here, out of the trio, that just keeps their pig moving at a better pace, head up all the time, and then always in front of me and giving me all three angles, chest, profile, and going away. That's a young man with the Duroc barrel.
Champion intermediate showmanship goes to Nick Black.
All right, well, we are working on getting the junior showmanship participants in the ring. I just wanted to talk about a new class that's been added this year to all species here at the 2023 Greene County Fair, and that'll be right after junior showmanship. It'll be master showmanship. The purpose of master showmanship is firstly to allow our exhibitors to always be able to participate in showmanship. So no matter if you have won master showmanship before and you were in 7th grade, you will always be able to participate in that until the day you graduate. Additionally, in master showmanship, the junior winner from this year, intermediate, and senior winner will all come back to go against the master showmans to have an overall master showman that will represent the swine species at the round robin contest on Sunday afternoon.
As we move into the juniors, it doesn't get any easier to pick one of these. Showmanship is my least favorite thing to judge, because instead of judging the pigs, you're judging the kids, which is a little more difficult in my opinion. With that being said, we still got to pick one out here. I think they all do a great job. There's one that, just going back to the basics of what I've done the last 2 classes, that just maintains the right pace, the right look, maintains eye contact, keeps their pig moving at the right pace. That's the young lady right here to my right.
Champion junior showmanship goes to Macy Bills. Can we have Gavin Sherman, Nick Black, Macy Bills, and Paisley Lautner to the show ring for champion master showman? On deck, we will have our purebred gilts division, and first class will be Berkshire gilts.
As we get our 3 division winners out here in the Master Showman from previous years, I commend whoever came up with that idea. As our program continues to grow, it's just going to make this even tougher and tougher in the end to go on and compete in your round robin event, which I think is a very cool deal. With that being said, it gets close between a few. Some of the things I've been looking for all day, as I've said, keeping the right pace, eye contact, never crossing over between the judge and the pig. Sometimes when I come around the behind, you need to cross around in the front so I can keep maintaining looking at the pig. With that being said, there's one individual out here that did that just a notch better than the rest of the class, and that's the young lady with the red barrel on the far side.
Champion Master Showman goes to Paisley Lautner. Just a couple thank yous for today. We'd like to thank Home State Bank for the water and live stream, the Fair Board, the Greene County Pork Producers, the ISU Extension staff, Samantha and Rachel, and parents, family members, mentors, and volunteers for these kids, and our judge, Cody Burt. And we'd also like to introduce our Greene County Fair Queen.
Hello, my name is Elise Badger. I am your 2023 Greene County Fair Queen. I will be a junior next year, and I show lambs and cattle in 4-H.
Let's give a big round of applause to our 2023 Greene County Fair Queen. On deck will be Yorkshire gilts and then Duroc gilts.
Just a single entry in the Berkshire Gilt class as we move into the Breeding Gilt show, and one that can definitely withstand some competition. One that's got a lot of turn to the top side of her skeleton, big rib, big shape. When she goes away from you, she's square and complete. If you could change her just a notch, you change her coming directly at you, but I think a very good female to start the Breeding Gilt show.
And Berkshire gilt goes to McKinley Robbins.
Another very good single entry in the Yorkshire class, a gilt that's very shapely when you get on top of her. When she drives directly at you coming out of the gate, she's big chested and opened up, coming and going. She, like I said, very shapely, big cage, big rib, extended from her neck blade forward. If you could change her, you would drop her down her spine just ever so slightly and maybe lengthen out her hip a touch, but still a very good Yorkshire individual.
In Yorkshire gilt goes to Adam Bills. Next up is our Duroc Gilts classes, and then on deck will be Spotted Gilt. In the ring, we'll have our Duroc Gilt classes, and then on to our Spotted Gilt classes.
Two gilts in your first class of Durocs. With that being said, it gets close between the pair. There's some subtle differences. The young man on the far side is going to go ahead and win the class. When you study this one in her blade and her shoulder, for the way her neck ties out her blade is longer and more extended than the one that's going to fall into second. She's square. She comes and goes. She's good in her rib cage, turned to her rib. Very nice place to start the class. The young man that's going to fall into second, no doubt, it has the stouter bone, stouter feature gilt at the ground. With that being said, she kind of wants to concave in her chest when she comes at you, leaves you a touch narrower and doesn't use her hip and hind leg. Just as good as the one that beats her, but it's still a very good pair.
Our class winner goes to Brayton Krause.
Another really good class of Durocs here. It gets a lot closer between the top pair in this class, in my opinion. With that being said, there's one that just utilizes its rear joint a little better than the one that's going to end up falling in second. It's a little more extended to her front end, and that's the young lady on the far side. She's going to go ahead and win the class. The young man on the young man driving directly at me is going to fall into second here. This one is a big rib gilt. She's stout when you get on top of her. She's stout jawed, stout skull, big hip. With that being said, when you study her at the ground, she gives up, just stout as she is up high, she gives up a little bit in her ankle. I'd like to see that individual be a little bigger bone. And when this one goes, I'd like to just see her utilize that left rear leg just a little bit better compared to the class winner. The gilt that rounds out the class is another shapely one that probably does have the biggest legs in the class. With that being said, she gives up a little bit on the top side of her skeleton. I'd like to see a little more flesh and rib in this individual. But still a very good trio. Please give them a round of applause.
Our second class winner goes to Lauren Oakes. Next in the ring, we'll be doing champion Duroc gilt and reserve champion.
As we get out here for the champion Duroc, it gets really close between these two. They're both extended from their blade forward. They both function out of their hip and hind leg and out of their shoulder very well. With that being said, we got to pick one, and I think there's one that just offers a little more on the top side of her skeleton. When you study her out of her blade, she gives you more spread and dimension. That's the young lady out of the second class. She's going to have her champion Duroc.
Champion Duroc gilt goes to Lauren Oakes.
as we bring out our second in class to pick reserve. It's close again between this pair. I think there's one that just offers us a little more integrity as she hits the surface, uses her rear joint and rear hop just a little bit better. That's the young man out of the first class. He's going to have your reserve out.
Reserve champion Duroc Gilt goes to Brayton Kraus. Next we have our spotted gilts, and then up next we have our first class of commercial gilts.
A single entry in our spot division to round out the purebred breeding gilt show. I think a very good individual at that. This one's a shapely gilt. When you get on top of her, she's opened up. When she comes at you, she's got big legs. It takes them all the way to the surface. She's big in her foot, good in her toe spread. Extended to her front end when she gets her head up. I think a very good way to round out a purebred gilt show.
Champion spotted gilt goes to Jennifer Robbins. Up next is our first class of commercial gilts, and then on deck will be class 2. Good morning, everyone. I wanted to give a quick update on something new and exciting we have going on at the fair this year. So we have our first ever Little Oinkers swine program. So for those of you that don't know what that is a new program we started this year, and it is ages 4 through 3rd grade. We have about 25 kids participating this year. And what they're going to do is, after the conclusion of the 4-H and FFA Swine Show this morning, we're going to have them come in the arena. There will be 5 different classes, and they're going to show a pig with a mentor that they were assigned last night at our practice. So I hope you guys can stick around for that and support these young kids, the future of our youth. And then also after that, stick around and grab some lunch. The pork producers will be grilling out in the center area there. So please stick around and support our youth and our pork producers as well.
As we move into our first class of the commercial guilds, a smaller set of guilds size-wise, but I think there's a lot of quality out here still. There's one out here that just offers the most bone and comfortability as she moves across the ring. That's the young man directly in front of me. He's going to win the class. It gets closer when you get into the other trio of them. I think there's one that just offers us a little more spread to her center body, a little more turn to her rib, and a little more comfortable out of her hip and hind leg. That's young lady's predominantly white guild to my right. She'll be second in this class. It gets really close between the third and fourth for me. With that being said, I think there's one that's just laid back in her shoulder a little more correct in the way she's designed. When you get on top of her, she has a little more true rib and just pure dimension in the center part of her body. That's the young man on the far side. And then the gilt on the left, the black-headed, black-tailed one, is going to round out the class. One that's extended from the front forward. She's got a lot of shape on top of her. But I just like to redesign this one in her shoulder and her rear leg and let her utilize that just a little bit better to move up today.
Our Class 1 winner goes to Bryce Timmons. Next in the ring, we'll have Class 2, and if Class 3, you can please go on deck, that'd be great. Class 3 of commercial gilts. If you could head to the ring, that'd be great.
So we move into our second class. Another very good trio of gilts out here. There's one that adds a little more bone, and when it goes to the surface. She's elegant to her front end. She's shapely. When you get on top of her, I'll be the first to admit I'd like to see a little more flank and belly in this individual, but she checks the most boxes of the most and becomes the most complete one when you compare them together. That's the young man in the center of the ring. He's going to win the class. The young man's black-headed gilt here that's going to fall into second. It falls to a pretty good one. This one is extended from her blade forward. She's square when she comes and goes. I'd like to see this one hit the ground with a little bigger foot and surface. I'd like to, when you get right on top of her, where she blends from her loin into her hip, the ham-loin junction, I would like to fill her in a little bit more, add a little bit more cover. The gilt that's going to fall into third is the opposite there. This one has plenty of cover, plenty of spread. Looks like a good doing female for the young lady. With that being said, I'd like to peel just a little bit of bark and neck and fat off that one's neck and just open her up everywhere to move her up against the other two today.
Class 2 winner goes to Gavin Sharman. Up next, we'll have Class 3, and if Class 4 can head to the back, that'd be great.
As we move into our next class, we have 5 of them out here. I think it gets really close in the middle here, but with that being said, there's one that needs to win the class. That's the young lady with the red belted gilt. This one is the most expressive when you get on top of her. She's the most open up in her center cavity. She's wide as she comes and she's wide as she goes. She hits the surface with a big foot and a big rear leg. Very good place to start in this class. It's really close for me between 2 and 3, and it comes down to the 2. The gilt directly in front of me and the gilt on the far side. I'd like to change both of them as they leave me. The they both need to utilize their hip and rear leg just a little bit more. The one I'm more comfortable using is the young man on the far side. He's going to be second in the class. The black-headed gilt that's going to come into third, like I said, the right leg just kind of scares me. I'd like to pull that back into check. I'd like to freshen her up from her blade forward. That's kind of where she gets beat today. It gets really close between these other two, too. The blue gilt from the side's very, very good. She's extended from her blade forward, moves and very flexible out of her joint. I would like to just open her up in her lower 1/3. The same can go for the belted gilt that's going to round out the class. That one's stout and big-legged. I just need to pull that one apart in her lower 1/3 to move her up today.
Our Class 3 winner goes to Lauren Oaks. Next in the ring, we'll have Class 4.
Another class of 4 out here, and it gets a little closer between these. I think there's one that needs to win the class, and that's the young man to my right. I'll be the first to admit I'd like to stop this one up to the ground and extend her, just make her bigger in overall build, but that's still the gilt that brings us the most quality. She's big ribbed, she's big chested, she's square as she goes, she's got plenty of shape up high, very nice place to start. It gets really close here between these other 3. They're very similar in their type and kind, how they're built. With that being said, the young lady in the middle of the ring is going to fall in second. She has the gilt between the other 2 out here, has the most rib and most turn to her top side. She uses her hip and rear leg the best out of these these out here right now. I'd like to stop her up at the ground. I could pull a little bit of shape out of that one, to be honest, and just give her a little more fat and cover, but that's still a very good place to go second in this class. The blue gilt's going to fall into third, another one that's just functional in her build. I'd like to open her up in her center cavity to move her up, but that's one when she goes around the ring. She's functional. She uses her hip and hind leg. Very good place to start. And a very shapely gilt that rounds out the class. One that I just got to give a little more spread to in her center body. Maybe drop her spine down ever so slightly, but a very big-legged, very stout one to round out the class.
Class 4 winner goes to Eli Schroeder. Up next, we'll have Class 5. And all class winners, if you can please be on deck for a champion and reserve commercial gilt.
As we get into our last class, commercial gilts, another really good class. I think there's an easy place to start. That's young man with the calico gilt off to my left. This one has big legs, big appendages. When you get on top of her, she has plenty of turn to her upper skeleton and fresh shape. She's stout jawed and youthful to her front end. Very good place to start in this class. With that being, then it gets a little closer between the two all black pigs that fall in, they're going to fall in the second and third. The one that has just a little more shape for me is the young lady direct closest to me with the brush in her hand. She's going to fall into second in this class. Very good hip and hind leg in this one, and shapely through when you get on top of her. Compared to the crinkle-eared one right beside her, I think that one, the one that falls in second, offers just a little more shape than the one that's going to be in third. The one in third, like I said, just give that one a little more shape to move her up. It's still a very big rib, square-chested gilt that looks like she did very good for the young individual. The gilt that rounds out the class, the belted one that for the young man, another one that looks like he did very good. She grew very good for the young man. With that being said, just like to peel a little bit of fat off of that one's neck and just give her a little more shape on the top side of her skeleton. But a very good class to end our commercial gilts. Please give them a round of applause.
Class 5 winner goes to McKinley Robbins. We will now be doing the champion, commercial gilt, and reserve. And just a few thank you and reminders. We'd like to thank Home State Bank for the water and live stream they've provided for today. And also for a reminder, the Grand and Reserve, please go to the back of the arena after your class for pictures.
As we get all 5 of our class winners out here for the Champion Commercial Guild. I think it's been a very good show throughout the day. These all aren't the same type and kind, but I hope you can see what I've been trying to explain the whole day about checking the boxes of being functional, how they use their hip and rear leg, how they blend on the top side of their skeleton, their squares, they come and go. They offer us some feature and some extra stacked on top of a good skeleton. There's one out here that won our class very easily, and she just stacks all those extras onto a complete skeleton. She's wide as she comes, wide as it goes. When you get right on top of this one has a big, burly back, but still functional and youthful to her front end. The young lady with the red gilt's going to win the commercial guild.
Can we have Isaac Carter up to the ring, please? As we drop our second out here to go into contention for Reserve Commercial Guild, it gets a lot closer for me between these driving out here. With that being said, I think there's one that just resembles our champion, the next best. She's stout at the surface, big in her forearm, big in her rear leg as she leaves you. She's shapely when you get on top of her. Like I said in class, I wish this one had some more flank and center dimension. With that being said, she looks like she's aged younger and definitely pounds younger than a lot of these out here. The young man in the middle of the ring is going to be Reserve.
Champion Commercial Guild goes to Lauren Oakes, and Reserve goes to Gavin Sherman. If we have all champion goat classes, please come to the ring for grand champion overall goat. 4 in the barn. If we can have all grand champion gilt classes, please come to the ring.
So we bring our 4 purebred division winners in the crossbred gilt out here to compete for your overall gilt. Very good show in your gilt show today. I thought there's lots of quality all the way through those classes. These worked their way to the top. We talked earlier about why they did it, and I think there's one out here that does it with the most extras, the most quality, the most just stack everything on one complete package. That's the crossbred gilt. She's going to be your champion. As we drop the reserve commercial gilt in for contention for your reserve overall gilt, it gets close between a pair of them for me, and that's the reserve cross gilt and the Duroc gilt. 2 very good individuals, taking nothing away from any of these other ones out here. They walk through their divisions rather handily. Good quality pigs, squares, they're coming to go shape when we get on top of them. These other 2 just give us a little bit more extras in terms of bone, substance, mass. When we get on top of them, they offer a little more spread and integrity. Stout about their jaw, youthful about their head and neck. Like I said, it gets close between the pair of them. I think there's one that just gives us a little more extras when you get right on top of them in terms of spread between their blade, spread down into their heart, into their lower cavity. The Duroc's going to be reserved.
Grand champion overall gilt goes to Lauren Oakes, and reserve goes to Lauren Oakes too. Congratulations.
Can we get Emma Hoyle and McKinley Robbins to the arena, please? I'd just like to take a minute to recognize our seniors and our pork producer scholarship winners. This year, the pork producers gave out 6 $500 scholarships to kids furthering their education next year. Caitlin Fields, Emma Hoyle, McKinley Robbins, Olivia Shannon, Emma Stream, and Bailey Anderson were the scholarship recipients. We've got 2 senior showmen today, Emma Hoyle and McKinley Robbins, and I just wanted to let them say what they're doing next year, and we'll go from there.
I'm going to Iowa Central in Fort Dodge to study early childhood education.
McKinley Robbins, I'm going to Oregon State to wrestle and be an engineer.
Those are a couple good kids there, and McKinley, we were glad to see him back this year. Hasn't showed the last few years. He's been focusing pretty hard on his wrestling, and it's really paid off for him. One more special mention I would like to make is to Kyle Hughes. He was also a senior this year. He ended up getting a job right out of school, working for John Deere up in Peyton, and he's been a really good showman over the years, and just want to make a special mention for him.
Next up, we will start with our market individual classes. Class 2, if you can be on deck. Lauren Oakes, if you could please come to the show ring.
Oh, another day.
So we move into our first class, individual market hogs out here. It gets really close for me between the two on the top end. With that being said, I think there's one that, the longer he's out here, it gets a little more comfortable. When he first came into the ring, he was one to kind of tuck and wrap his rear leg. He's still not perfect there, and I'm not going to deny that. I'd like to lengthen this one out in his hip, raise his tail head up. But when you get on top of this one, he's the most shapely. Out of the backside of his blade, he's extended from his blade forward. He's square as he comes at you. That's where he beats the one that's going to end up falling in second. The young lady on the right is going to win the class. The all black barrel that wanted to leave the ring a little early, giving the young lady a little bit of problems, but she's still doing a great job. One that's on top of this one. This one's big rib. He's got a big rear leg when he leaves you. He's got a big forearm when he started from the side. He's still extended when he does decide to get his head up. With that being said, when he gets beat for me today is when he comes directly at you. He kind of wants to get a little narrower in his chest and a little bit more in at his knee, but that's still a very good individual to be second in a very good class. The other man barrel that's going to fall into third just ran into two that are really good. This one's square when he leaves you. He's useful from his blade forward. He's got a big rear leg. He's shapely when you get on top of him. I just like to blend this one in his ham-leg junction ever so slightly a little bit better, and maybe just stouten up his forehead and jaw and lengthen him out in his head to move him up compared to the other two. The young lady that's going to be fourth, I remember this pig from Showmanship. Very youthful from its head forward. It's very shapely when you get on top of it. When this one comes directly at you, he kind of wants to twist his front feet ever so slightly. And when you study this one going away, he kind of wants to swing his back right hop just a little bit. I'd like to bring that in just a little more to move him up over those other three today. The one coming out next, the belted barrel, another one that's extended from his blade forward. He offers a good shouldering presence. I just got to give this one a little more in his lower 1/3 to move him up compared to the others, but it's still very good, nice quality barrel. One that rounds out the class. Excuse me. Another one, we just add a little bit more shape and a little bit more rib to move him up to today, but the bright future in those last two.
Class 1 winner goes to Lauren Oakes. Next in the ring will be Class 2, and if Class 3, you can be on deck.
Moving to our next class. There's not a clear-cut winner out here for me today, but when you break them down into market hog fundamentals, I think there's one that services to the top and just being shapely and big-legged and still offers some showroom presence. That's the young lady's Calico Barrel off to my left. He's going to win the class. Like I said, a very shapely one. You get on top of him, he's big-legged. I'd like to just square this one up a little bit in his left hock, but still a very good place to start. When we go into second, it gets a little closer. Like I said, a little closer throughout this class on the whole thing. The belted barrel off to my left is going to fall into second. He resembles the next most market hog traits. He's very shapely when you get on top of him. Still fresh and youthful to his front end. I'd like to lengthen this one's hip out just a little bit to beat the one ahead of him, but still a very good big-ribbed individual to fall next. The blue barrel with very, very big legs is going to fall into third. He's shapely when you get on top of him, and he's still square and comes and goes. I just like to see a little bit more there when this one comes at you. And right here in his heart, into his blade, I'd like to just fill him up a little bit more there to move him up today. Gets close between these other two. The belted hog is going to fall in next. One that offers big legs, good look from the side, fundamental type of pig. Just need to open this one up a little more to move them up compared to the contemporary. And then a calico bear that rounds out the class one from the sides, very good. I just got to stop this one up to the ground to move them up today, but still a very functional type of pig. Please give them a round of applause.
Class 2 winner goes to Macy Bill. Class 3 will be in the ring next, and Class 4, if you can please head to the ring, that'd be great.
Starting to warm up out here in terms of quality and heat. That's why we're going to start pinning a few of these things in these deeper classes just to better get a little more better evaluation on my part so I can see these things move, and out here compared to their contemporaries a little easier. With that being said, these two on top are two very good barrows. They both offer a lot in terms of the top side of their skeleton, in terms of shape, dimension, spread. They're stout at the ground, big legged. They're square and youthful through the front end. With that being said, I think there's one that just leaves us with a little more punch, a little more dimension. That's young lady's red calico barrow. She's going to win the class. Taking nothing away from the belted bear that's going to fall in a second. Like I said, another big-legged, stout one. when this one leaves you, he just doesn't offer as much punch and dimension in the lower part of his skeleton. I like to freshen this one up in his neck ever so slightly, but like I said, a very, very good pair on the top end. The Duroc Gill that's going to come in next just ran into two very good ones in terms of quality in this class. She's extended from her blade forward. Offers a lot of shape when you get on top of her. Compared to the contemporaries, we just got to restructure this one's hip just a little bit. She kind of wants to tuck and drag her rear leg instead of utilize it like the two barrels ahead of her. But like I said, a very, very good class. The Duroc barrel that comes in next, another shapely one that's square when he comes and goes. We just got to give this one a little more shape and dimension in its flank when you get on top of this one from the side. The very shapely barrel that's going to come in next, just need to redesign this one's shoulder, move a little better out of the shoulder and hock and hip. But like I said, a very shapely one to go next. And a highly presented, very good skin and hair barrel that comes out next. Just runs out a little bit of groceries in terms of dimension. Just like to open this one up a little more, but a very functional sound type of barrel to round out a very good class.
Class 3 winner will be longer. Class 4 will be in the ring next, and then Class 5 can head to the showroom to be on deck.
Another really good class out here, and I think an easy place to win, and that's the young lady's red belted red-tinned barrel here in the center of the ring. He's going to go ahead and win this class. This one's very shapely when you get on top of him. He's got a big fresh back laid in him. He's big hip, big hand. He's comfortable. He's the most comfortable as he goes across the ring compared to the next two that fall in here. I'll be the first to admit I like to stop this one up in his bone work ever so slightly, but still a very good place to start. It gets a lot closer for me between these two blue gilts. I think there's one that just offers a little bit more dimension. I like the way her hips build a little better. That's the young lady's gilt to my right. She's just more extended in her hip. I'm not going to say she utilizes it perfect. She kind of wants to stomp her right rear leg out ever so slightly. But compared to the one that comes in next, it's a little rounder and tighter in her ham loin. That is a big-legged, very shapely, very opened up as she comes right at you type of gilt. Very good gilt to fall where she does. The barrel that is exiting the ring right now, very functional type of barrel with a lot of rib and dimension. There's a little bit of swelling on the inside of his right hock. He's kind of wanting to favor it just ever so slightly to move him up today. And the blue gilt that rounds out the class, a very shapely one. She's beautiful to her neck. We just need to stop this one up at the ground to move her up compared to her contemporaries.
Class 4 winner goes to Paisley Lautner. Next in the ring, we'll have Class 5, and if Class 6 can be on deck.
A little bit of a closer class in terms of how they fall and how they soared when it comes down to it. I'm going to use the most comfortable one that still offers some extras. That's young man off to my right. I'd like to raise this one up on his front feet ever so slightly, but with that being said, he offers the most extension through his front end. When you get on top of this one, he's very shapely. He squares, he leaves you. I'd like to open him up in his chest ever so slightly, but I think he just offers the most good out of the class. Another really good one that falls in second, that is the big rib, bigger legged barrel in the class, is a young lady on the far side with the belted one. I just would like to let this one utilize his hawk and rear leg a little better, and he'd move up over the class winner. But today he just needs to go out and stride a little further to be able to do that. The one that comes in, it gets really close between the rest of them out here, in my opinion. The one that's going to come in next is the belted barrel on the far side of the ring. He's the next most comfortable. He's shapely when you get on top of him. He's big ribbed and through his heart. I'd like to just extend this one a little bit through his face and neck and open him up as he comes right at you. The one that's going to come in next is the, excuse me, there's the red barrel. He just offers a little more comfortability, a very high productivity pig. And then the one that rounds out the class, the blue barrel, another shapely one. He's got a big rib, big belly. I just like to lengthen this one out through his neck, lengthen him out through his hip. But a very good class altogether. Please give them a round of applause.
Class 5 winner goes to Gavin Sharman. Next in the ring will be Class 6. And Class 7, you are on deck.
If they did a pin of 5, I think these 5 would be very, very competitive. These are all 5 similar pigs in their type and kind, but all have shape and expression on the top side of their skeleton, very high cutability, marketable, very good market pigs. So with that being said, we got a place these today. I think the one that just gives us the most dimension up high and still comfortable out here in a show ring setting is the young man directly in front of me. He's going to go ahead and win this class with this belted barrel. One that's expressive on the top side. He's got rib. He's got a little more center body compared to a couple others out here. I think a very good place to start. The young lady's predominantly white barrel on the far side of the ring is going to fall in second. Another one that's extended from his blade forward. He's shapely when you get on top of him. He offers some bones when you study him at the surface. Another very high cutability pig. Gets really close in here between these. The young lady's big rib, stouter skull barrel right here in front of me. He's going to be in third. Like I said, a stout skull opened up in his blade. He's got some shape on the top side of the skeleton. I like to stouten him up at the ground to move him above the other two. The young man right here is going to have your next one that falls in next. To move this one up, I'd like to drop him in his lower flank ever so slightly. But this one has a lot of expansion on the top side of the skeleton. A lot of high productivity, cutability in that one. And then the red one that rounds out the class, another very good one. When you study this on the top side, he's got a lot of shape. I'd like to just lengthen him out through his front end and lengthen him out in his hip to move him up today in this class.
Class 6 winner goes to Matthew Gannon. Class 7 is up next, and then if all class winners can eventually be headed to the ring to do grand and overall reserve market individual. Thank you to our fair queen for handing out ribbons and banners this morning, and we'll give her a little introduction.
Hello, my name is Elise Badger. I'm your 2023 Greene County Fair Queen. I will be a junior in high school next year, and I'm involved in 4 years FFA. I dance competitively, and I'm on the Iowa Junior Beef Breeds Association.
Let's give our fair queen a big round of applause.
we move into our last class, the biggest class of the individual market hogs today. Another challenging class to put together. I think there's one, when you put the basics together, it still has shape and some bone and dimension and offers a little bit more of a show ring presence in the show ring setting today. It's a young man's gill in the middle of the ring right here. She's going to go ahead and win this class. One that youthful from her neck forward and shapely you get on top. You could give her a little more rib, maybe to move to change her ever so slightly, but still a very good class winner. It gets really close between the rest of these. Young man's black gill is going to go ahead and fall in next. Another shapely one. Offers a little more true spread and shape up high. I'd like to open this one up as she goes compared to the one that goes ahead and beats her. Gets another close pair here between 3 and 4. The one that I think offers the most spread and dimension is the one that's going out of the ring right now. Another one that's shapely, big rib, bold, offers a good cutability. The one that comes in next, very similar in their type and kind. I just thought this one wasn't as opened up on the top side of his skeleton that comes in next, but a very good place to go there. The belted one that comes out next, another one that offers some extension from the blade forward, offers some shape when you get on top, maybe just not as opened up compared to the 4 ahead of it, whereas it doesn't offer as much bone, and you hit it, look at the surface. The next one that comes out, another high doing, high profitability. I'm sure this one had a very good rate of gain. I'd like to just open this one up at the ground ever so slightly and clean up his neck to move him up. And the white one that rounds out the class, one that offers some shape when you get on top, maybe just a little bit of an injury in its right hip to move it up today. But please give them all a round of applause.
Class 7 winner goes to McKinley Robbins. If we can have all class winners, please come to the ring. And we will be on Grand and Reserve Market Hog. As we work our way into the selection of your grand champion market hog,
First of all, I'd like to say thanks again for having me out here. I know we have some more stuff to sort after this as we work through showmanship, the gilts and the barrels. We have some pin of three and some other stuff after that. With that being said, it's been a very good show so far up to this point. You never know what you're going to get into when you say yes to a county fair, but the quality's been good, the ring health's been good. Please, everybody, give everybody behind the scenes a round of applause. It takes a lot to put one of these on. With that being said, I thought we had a very good guild show, a guild representative that's going to go on and represent your guys' county at the next level at the showdown setting. I think there's going to be another one out of this barrel deal that does the same thing. This one's high quality. I liked him in class. It was a deep class. To me, the barrel show is non-negotiable. The young lady with the calico barrel on the far side is going to win right here. As we drop the second in that class out here for contention for reserve, it doesn't get any easier when it comes to the reserve selection. Like I said, I thought your champion was an easy winner. It's a very good, high-quality pig. When you get on top of your champion, he has a ton of spread-up, high expression. When he leaves you, he's big and he's square. He's got big legs and big feet. When he comes to the surface, he comes out, he's square with a stout skull. And from his blade forward, he's extended and youthful. I think a very good individual that won. Like I said, it gets a lot closer here but for reserve between a few of them. The ones in contention for me are the lightweight barrel. One that I talked in class, I wish we could elevate him and it throughout his hip a little bit, but one that's extended through his front end. He's got a lot of shape on top of him. I could stop him at the ground compared to another one out here today. The one that was second in that class also falls into contention. Another one that was shapely. That class was good. That one's got big legs. Stout skull. Like we said, we need to open that one up as he leaves you ever so slightly. I'd like to reconstruct his head shape just ever so slightly and peel a little bit of neck off of him. A very good individual. And the other one that falls in contention is the other red barrel here. Another one that was shapely. He squares, he comes and goes. Like we said in class, I said he was easily won the class. I'd like to stop him off the ground. It gets close between those three. I promise I don't like red ones. I use the red gill and the calico barrel, but as the chips fall, I think the next best one out here is another red one. That one's going to be a reserve.
Grand and Reserve Champion Market Individual goes to Paisley Lautner. We'll now be heading to the pin of threes, so Class 1 and Class 2, if you could start making your way to the ring. Good morning, everyone. As we have our first class of Pen 3 enter the arena, I just wanted to give one quick announcement. So for those of you that are in the stands, if you would be so kind as to stay after the show, we have our first Little Oinkers swine program. So this program is opportunity for kids ages 4 through 3rd grade to show pigs with an older 4-H or FFA member. So we will start that show right after the Grand and Reserve Pen 3 concludes this morning. So please stick around for that, and then support our pork producers by grabbing a pork burger or a pork loin sandwich for lunch today. Thank you.
As we move into the Pen 3 show, we have 3 entries in this class, and when the Pen 3 side, you can look at it 3 different ways, but for me today, I'm going to try and find the ones that have the match up the most, but still offer some quality in terms of structure, bone, squareness, shape up high, integrity at the ground. I think the 3 that match up the best for me today is the belted pair on the far right of the ring. They're going to win this class. Got close between the other pin on the far left. Lots of high quality in that pen over there. Obviously, I placed a lot of those pretty high today. I remember seeing them. But when it comes to matching up and doing everything the same in a Pen 3 setting, I think the one on the far side does a little bit better. That's why this one's going to fall into 2. Taking nothing away from the pen that comes in next. They're both all 3 shapely and all 3 similar in their type and kind. I just like to see a little more surf when they hit the ground, a little more bone mass, overall oomph right there through their center part of their body to move them up compared to the other 2.
Class 1 winner goes to Jennifer Robbins. Now coming in the ring will be Class 2.
As we move into our second class, the pin of 3, I think all 3 pins resemble their counterparts to each other very closely. The variation between that's difference is very low, so then when it comes down to that, I think you just sort on which one has the most sheer amount of quality, and for me that's this predominantly white pin in my right. They offer just a little more structure and bone at the ground, a little more shape up high compared to the other 2. The one that's going to come in next is the predominantly black pin. These things are shapely when you get on top of them. They're opened up. They're big-legged like we talked all throughout the day. Those things look very, very tasty, and those pork chops are going to be very good, whoever gets to eat those. And then the belted pin on the far side, another one that has high cutability, very shapely. I just like to see these with a little more feature and bone and drop them in their flank. Maybe don't match up just quite as good as these other 2 pins in this class. Please give them all a round of applause. as we get our first and seconds from both our Pin of 3 classes out here. I think a very good show overall for the Pin of 3 division. With that being said, I think there's 2 pins that offer the most amount of quality in terms of structure, balance, some show ring presence, some shape, put everything together and check all the boxes for me. The first out of Class 1 and the second out of Class 1 are going to be your Grand and Reserve Pin of 3.
Our Grand Champion Pin of 3 goes to Jennifer Robbins, and our Reserve Grand Champion Pin of 3 goes Lauren Oakes. Congratulations. All right, that concludes our 2023 Greene County 4-H and FFA Swine Show. If you guys could all give our exhibitors a big round of applause. I would also like to do a couple thank yous this morning before we begin our Little Oinkers show. So thank you again to Home State Bake for the water and the live stream this morning. Thank you to our fair board for all you do to get the arena ready and the fairgrounds ready for the fair. Thank you to our pork producers for helping volunteer in the arena and grill us a delicious lunch today. Thank you to our ISU Extension staff, especially Samantha and our intern Rachel. If you guys see them running around the fair, please thank them. They've done a tremendous job again this year. And then thank you, of course, to the parents, family members, mentors, and volunteers that make all of this happen behind the scenes, as Judge Cody said earlier. We could not do it without you guys. And thank you to our Judge Cody for being here today. Thank you to our Fair Queen for handing out ribbons and banners this morning. And last but not least, thank you to our MC, Izzy, for MCing this morning. So we will get started with our Little Oinkers show in just a couple minutes here. Going to let the 4-Hers get back to their, the pigs back to their pens. Our first class this morning, we will have 4 exhibitors. And I'm going to go ahead and announce them just so that you guys make sure you're paired up with the right mentor. So we have... Okay, so we have Quentin in Class 1. We have Quentin with his mentor Bryce, Carly with mentor Lauren, Malcolm with mentor Gavin, and Finn with mentor Adam. So if you guys can go ahead and come up to the arena, and then if you are in Class 2, you are on deck in the back of the arena. And then the classes and mentors are also posted in the swine barn, so if you forget who your mentor was or what class you're in, you can go ahead and look in the swine barn and just make sure you're ready to go for when your class is on deck. So thank you, everybody. All right, we are starting with Class 1. We have 4 exhibitors.
Back
as we get into the Little Oinkers division, we're not going to place these at all. I think this is a great thing, and you guys need to commend whoever's idea this was. They deserve a big congratulations. When it comes to a county fair season, I know just as good as anyone it can get hot and competitive. Tempers can fly. It's things like this that you need to look back on and remember. It's things like this that when at the end of the day, think back on this, not who won. I know everybody wants to win the big banner, and everybody's here to win. I was the same way, still am. But think back on things like this. This is why we do this, stay in this industry. This is why these kids are going to be very successful when they grow up. Again, I commend everybody. Thanks for having me. Please give a big round of applause for your whole show today.
A couple reminders this morning. So after Class 5 concludes, if all of the Little Oinkers participants would head to the back of the arena, we're going to do a group picture after Class 5 concludes. So please just head straight back to the back of the arena. Parents, if you want pictures with your mentor in the pig, you can connect with them and get a picture in the back of the arena with the three of them. So that's completely up to you guys. Also, I want to give a big shout out and thanks to our sponsors this morning, Triple J Customs. So they sponsored the shirts and the ribbons and the free ice cream cone coupons that we are giving all of our participants this morning. So after you guys have your pork burger for lunch, you can grab a free ice cream cone or dish at Clover Cafe this morning. All right, starting with Class 2, we have Jackson with mentor Eli, Israel with mentor Grant, Harper with her mentor Isaac, Aria with her mentor Emma, Adam with his mentor Riley, and Georgia with mentor Brayton. All right, this concludes Class 2. Let's give a big round of applause to our Class 2 participants. Next in the ring, we will have Class 3. We have 6 participants total in Class 3. For Class 3 participants, we have Mariah with mentor Macy, Natalie with mentor Aubrey, Chase with mentor Gavin, Merrick with mentor Adam, Chloe with mentor Grant, and Henry with mentor Riley. All right, let's give a big round of applause to our Class 3 exhibitors. Next in the arena, we will have Class 4 with 4 participants. In Class 4, we have Robert with his mentor Eli, Kinley with her mentor Riley, Montana with her mentor Isaac, and Gentry with her mentor Brayton. Let's give a big round of applause to our Class 4 exhibitors. All right, last but certainly not least, we have Class 5 with 3 exhibitors. We have Spencer with mentor McKinley, Paul with mentor Emma, and Malia with mentor Lauren. All right, this concludes Class 5 and also concludes our Little Oinkers show for 2023. So if you all could give a big round of applause to our exhibitors and their mentors as well. This would not be possible without all of the mentor volunteers this morning. So thank you guys so much for volunteering your time today. Again, thank you to everybody that helped out with the show, the 4-H and FFA and Little Oinkers show this morning. And I also wanted to give a shout out to Shine On Designs for designing and printing our banners for our exhibitors today. So thank you everybody, and please stop by and have a pork burger or pork loin sandwich for lunch. And all of the Little Oinkers exhibitors, please meet me in the back of the arena for a group picture at your earliest convenience. Thank you.